Hello everyone, it's your turn. My name is Marco,
and
with me is Bryn, and we like to do detailed how to plays as well as playthroughs for you guys. It's a little different setup than most live streams where we go in and really show you every little bit of how to play this game and as fast as possible and then play it with you.
That's right. This week we're doing Gaia Project by Z-Man Games. If you're familiar with the predecessor to this game, Terra Mystica, I feel like this is like a modular version of Terra Mystica that's like really elevated the game.
Yeah, this is by far one of my favorite games. Ever since it came out, you know, usually Terra Mystica I've played and I really didn't like it as much, but as soon as Gaia Project came out, oh, I can't stop playing this game. And so I requested from Bryn, like, please let us do this one of our first videos, please.
And here we are doing Gaia Project. Now I've got to warn you, you've seen our previous streams. We did Railways into Pond. Pretty simple setup there. You just gotta have a board, not really a playmat even. Then we did Colonists, which was a special kind of challenge because there was such tiny text. But this game is huge. Okay,
Yes.
There are so many different things to look at once. So let's get into it.
Yeah, but before we do, if you have any suggestions, comments, or questions about the game, just put it into the comments and we'll respond as quick as possible. As well as if you have a request for us to answer any questions.
Or if you have a game request.
Right. We will do a little segment video for you guys and also do the game the following week.
That's right. Following week, or at least we'll get into the queue and so we can show you what we're doing. Great.
All right, so Bryn, you want to get right in?
Let's do it. Okay, now Gaia Project, each player is playing a different faction out in the Terra Mystica galaxy, and we're all trying to peacefully, it clarifies in the rules, peacefully colonize these various planets. So I'm going to go and show the planet board here real quick.
All right, you're in.
Okay, great. So in the game, I'm going to be the red player, because red's superior color. Marco's going to be blue, and we're going to be creating little buildings on these planets to terraform these planets. Now, the purpose of the game is to score the most victory points, and for that, we're going to go to the victory point wheel, the victory point chart over here. So this game is played over 6 rounds, as you can see here, with 6 rounds, and we're going to be trying to score conditions at the end of each round. Now, just like Terra Mystica, each round has a special tile that represents a special victory point condition. Whenever we see these little brown squares with the gear, that shows how many victory points you gain for doing that specific thing during that round. So each round, we're going to score at the end of the round for what we've done during the round, or we're going to score, as we do these actions in the round, we're going to score for that. Also, at the end of the game, we have an end game scoring track for 2 different victory conditions. I'm going to get into the details of these very shortly, but right now, just trying to give you the overview. We're also going to score based on how far we are on the research track, and finally, we're going to score for any excess resources we have. Now, there's a myriad of ways to score in this game beyond just what's on this scoring wheel. There's going to be scoring on the technology track. There's going to be scoring with let's see here. We're going to have little abilities that are going to allow us to score even more. Let's see here. What can we do here? Let's jump right into the faction board to show you where most of the action for the player will be happening. In the game, there are 14 different factions, or 7 faction boards. Each faction board corresponds to a color. As you see, I have the red board, and each faction board flips to form a different faction to the side. So there's 7 boards, 2 factions each. Each one has a unique board, unique setup, unique abilities, unique starting abilities. I mean, this game is just massive. So let's go through it. On this board, you'll see all the buildings that you have access to in the game, okay? You also see your power chart, and you'll also see where you store your resources, okay? Finally, you'll see a terraforming chart and a free action chart over here. I'll get to those details shortly. Basically in the game, though, we're going to be building these buildings on our board, taking the buildings off our board, building them, and placing them out onto the maps, okay? As we build buildings, as we build these mines, like these little things down here, we'll be able to upgrade these mines into larger, better buildings as we go along, okay? The cost to build these buildings is printed over here. Anytime you see a downward arrow right here on the map, any of these right here on the board, that shows the resource that we're going to spend. So if we look at this, oops, sorry, hitting the camera here. If we look at this, it shows that if we want to build a mine, it's going to cost us 1 ore, that's represented by this white resource on this track, and 2 credits, represented by this gold one. So the way we would score it, the way we would cost that is we would move this down 1 and move this down 2, okay? And that's how we spend resources. Also, so in each different thing has a different amount of cost for it, and we'll get to those as we build them throughout the game. Also, you'll notice that when we pick up these resources, you'll see it uncovers a little resources with little hands underneath them. A hand represents income. It's what you get at the beginning of each round. So the more hands you uncover, the more resources you're going to get at the beginning of every round of the game, and it builds from there. I'm going to focus also on the power wheel right here. I don't know if it's called the power wheel, but I'm calling it the power wheel for the purpose of this demonstration. This represents how much power you have to be able to spend to do specific actions. We'll get to what those actions are in a moment. But whenever an ability lets you gain power, you can actually take power from the pool and put it into your power. Whenever something has you discard power, you would actually remove the power from anywhere here in your wheel, and it leaves the game. Now that's not very interesting. What you're really going to be doing is doing something called charging power, and then I think it's spending. So when you charge power, you'll see. Let's see if I can find an example. Here's an example right here. You'll see a hand with a 4 and a filled-in purple arrow. That means that you're going to move that much power along your wheel. So we always start in the lowest position. This is a 1, that's 2, and that's 3. So we move 4 power, starting with 1, 2, 3, 4. Power that's in the 3rd position can be spent on abilities. So in the game, there are a variety of abilities, of which I can't show you right now. I'll show you as we play the game. Actually, there are some actually printed over here. Whenever you're going to spend power for an ability, or for one of these, or for a resource, it's going to have a black arrow, just like this is a black arrow to reset the power gauge. So right here we see that if you spend 1 power, black arrow, you'll gain 1 credit. So I could take one of these powers here, spend it, and move my credits up 1 space. Okay? So that's how, generally how power works. If we need more power in the game, let me actually reset here. I can move power myself without having an action to do it into the useful area, area 3, by also discarding power as shown by this iconography right here. You can gain 1 by discarding 1. Now that's going to remove power from your wheel, and sometimes that's good and sometimes that's bad, but basically if you need power, you can always take 1 and spend 1. Notice there's no way to move power from here to here without something that allows you to charge power. So let me reset my game board here real quick, and let's talk about terraforming. Terraforming is right here. Now here's the deal. Each planet type, each particular faction has a planet type that they has a breathable, livable atmosphere for them to be able to live on, right? If they want to live on these other planet types, they have to terraform them to make them like a planet type they can actually live on. So the way that works is for every planet, if you look at the planets here, it tells you how many terraforming steps you have to take in order to make it habitable. So for me, blue planets and orange planets, I'm just going to use their color. They actually have a name in the game. But blue and orange planets are going to be basically the simplest for me to terraform, and I can always live on red planets. Yellow and white will be harder. So let's go show on the board what that looks like. So on the board here, you'll see that I'm adjacent to an orange planet. I'm also adjacent to one of these purple planets. I can't remember what those are called right now, but a purple planet that we're going to be Gaia forming later. The orange planet, if I want to be able to turn the orange planet into a red planet, essentially, and be able to put a mine on it, I've got to terraform it. Now, the cost of terraforming is 3 ore at the beginning of the game, as determined by your current research level. When we get to the research track in a moment, I'll be able to show you that you can upgrade that through the game. So essentially, if I want to build a mine right here, I not only have to spend the 1 ore from the game that I had to spend on my playmat, and the 2 credits, I have to spend 3 additional ore. So it'll cost me a total of 4 ore and 2 credits to place 1 mine here. Okay? There are other restrictions in the game as far as how far away you can build, and we're going to talk about those right now with the research track before we start playing the game. So if we're looking here at the research track now, okay, great. Can we pull that down? Yeah. Technical difficulties, not really. We're going to get this going. Okay. There are 6 individual research tracks that your players that you can go up. Notice that I have the red tokens and Marco has the blue. Okay. Now the red tokens, however far you are up on a given research track, determines what it does for you. So throughout the game, we're going to be able to spend our knowledge resource. That was our blue resource on our track, as opposed to the white, which was ore, and the yellow, which was credits. We're going to be able to spend blue resources to be able to move up these tracks during the game. We're also going to be able to earn technologies, which are here, which, when we take these, allow us to move up the corresponding track as well. So at the beginning of the game, you'll notice here that it costs 3 ore to terraform 1 space, right? As we move up, though, we can see that here, when we get to this spot in the terraforming track, it costs 2 ore to research to terraform 1 space, and eventually it only costs 1 ore to terraform 1 space. There's other elements in the game that let you terraform a little easier, but this is at least how we start the game. Now, we talked about range. At the beginning of the game, each of us has a range of 1, which means we can only build on adjacent planets. Now, if you remember the board over here, I only have 1 adjacent planet here, I have 1 adjacent planet here. And we haven't even gotten to how you're supposed to terraform these purple planets yet. In order for me to be able to branch out to other planets, I need to build up my, I always call it range, but it actually has a name in the game, but your range. So notice that we all have a range of 1. As I move up this track, my range goes to 2, 3, and then one of us can get all the way to range 4, okay? So what that means is in order for me to build another mine, I'm going to show you here, if I wanted to build, let's say this mine on this white planet here, I would need a range of 1, 2, 3 to get there. Now once I'm there, I can jump over to this planet to build a mine with only a range of 2. You see how it works. Now there's a special resource type that you can use to help extend your range. It's called a QIC. I'm going to put it right here in the detailed camera. QIC. It's a little green cube with a little piece of it missing. QICs, you can spend a QIC, and for 1 terraform, you can actually increase your range by 2 one time, which means my range of 1 immediately jumps to a range of 3. And each of us, this game started with a QIC, but there's ways to get more. As you see back on the tech trees, that you can actually earn QICs as you move up, and of course as you're earning more range. So that brings us to the QIC track, or the artificial intelligence track. Each one of these gives you more and more QICs. Now QICs are very interesting because 1, they can extend your range. They can also be converted to resources. We'll get to the conversion rates and stuff like that later. But they have one really cool effect, and that is down here on this board, they can be spent for very special powers. And that brings me to the bottom half of this board. Can you see? They can see this? Great. Okay, notice that these here have the little QIC symbol. They have a number. This says if I want to take this special action, if I spend 2 QIC, I can take an action token, or to show that that action's done, which means you can only be done once per round. Once the action's done, I get to take whatever's there. So I can spend QIC specifically to these cool actions, and these are really, really awesome. I'll get to what they do soon. The other thing I can do, as far as actions down here, is remember how I talked about spending power earlier? Notice there's an ability here that lets me spend 7 power, 5 power, 4 power, 3 power, 3 power. Whenever I take one of these actions by spending my power, I then cover up the action I used. And we'll get to do what each of these mean in a moment, but I'll focus on one really quick. Right here, if I spend 3 power, I can terraform something 1 step. So and here, if I spend 5 power, I can terraform something 2 steps. So basically, there's other ways to terraform beyond spending your resources. Great. So that takes care of the green track. Let's jump over to the economy track, which is the gold track here. We're going to skip the middle for just a moment. All this shows is the higher you go up in this track, actually my faction starts on level 1 of it, the more resources you gain every turn. So I'm going to gain an extra credit, and I get to charge an extra power at the beginning of each turn. Finally, just like the economy track is a technology track, the more you move up this, the more knowledge you gain each turn, which can then be used to gain other technologies. A few other things to show you on these tracks. You'll notice that as you move up the tracks, what you get changes. These do not stack. You get whatever is on the current track you're on, okay? So when I'm here on 2 knowledge, I don't get 3, I only get the 2. When I pass from the 2-step to the 3-step, I get to charge 3 power, which is kind of exciting. When I move to the 4 track or the 5 track, I now have access to what's called an advanced tech. I'll get to these whenever we do technologies, but you can only take these when you reach the 4th or 5th step, and they have special costs that go along with them. Okay, so that's enough detail on this board. We'll get to more of this during the game. So to recap, do the overview, you're going to be terraforming planets, building your mines there, upgrading your mines to better structures, trading posts, research labs, planetary institutes, and academies, and using those buildings to create federations. Federations are one of the primary ways you gain points. I'm going to show you an example of a federation token. So when one group of planets has enough, has enough power, and I'll get to what each building's power is in a moment. When a single group of buildings gets to 7 power, it's 7 power is what it is. I can take one of these tokens, gain the benefit immediately, which is a lot of points, and I have a federation. Okay, federations can be used later and flipped for special powers later on in the game, which again we'll get to as we go through it. Federations are joined by satellites. And because one of the ending game conditions is the player that has the most satellites, you're going to see satellites built in the game as we build federations. Great. Well, I would like to start turn 1. Do you think of anything else I haven't covered? This is a pretty expansive game.
So I have the main board right now up before we start round 1. But I do want to say this game sounds like it is a lot. And that it's too complex, maybe fiddly might be a word to use. But it's not. Once you start getting the actual understanding of what's going on, it flows so well.
That's right. I mean, basically each round we're going to collect income, we're going to take some actions, and then we're going to clean up. And that's the end of round 1. We'll do round 2, round 3. We'll keep taking actions until each of us pass. So you can keep taking actions as long as you have resources to do so.
Right.
Or strategically pass early so you can get better tokens. I know, again, we didn't cover the middle research track with the purple. We'll be covering it soon. It's a little bit involved.
So we're going to start round 1 with Bryn, and I are going to collect income. So Bryn is going to show you how it works right now on his board.
All right. So first of all, we're looking at my board, and the first thing we do is we get income. Now, at the beginning of the game, I started with these tokens wherever these colors are. See how they all have a color below it? So I have 3 knowledge, 4 ore, and 15 coins, or 15 credits, okay, and 1 QIC. So now I'm going to collect my income. I'll get 1, 2, 3 more ore, shown here. I'll get 1 more knowledge. I'll get 3 more coins, okay? And then if I go back over here to the economy board, I also get 2 more coins and I get to charge 1 power. So here's 2, not coins, credits, and then I get to charge 1 power, which means I always take from the lowest area and move to the next area. Great, and so that's income. So when Marco does his income, I'm going to talk about my first turn. And I'm going to talk about what's going to motivate me this turn as far as getting points. So this particular round, if we're going to stay on this.
Okay,
yeah.
Going back.
This particular round, this is the goal for this round. It says every mine you build this turn, you'll score 2 points for. So I'm really motivated this turn, not to focus on other elements of the game like upgrading, but to build as many mines as I can, okay? You'll notice that the next turn's benefit, which I'll show over here, this is turn 2, you get points for trading posts. Mines build in the trading posts. So my goal right now is to build as many mines as I can, and the next turn, turn those into trading posts for 3 points each. And you can see how the game's modular victory point system kind of guides play. So for my first turn, the first thing I'm going to do is I want to terraform this orange planet right here. Now to do that, it's going to cost me the typical cost of 1 ore and two credits. Because I need to terraform 1 step, it's going to cost me 3 additional ore. So that's a total of 4 ore. So I'm going to move it down from 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then it'll also cost me 2 credits. That lets me take one of my mines, place it here. I now have 2 mines there, and my turn is over. Now here's something cool. Whenever anyone builds or upgrades within a neighboring area of another player, that player gets to do something called, they get to charge power for free. It's a passive action, it's in the game, let me go over the details. So you'll notice that because I built within 2 steps of Marco, that's called neighboring, as long as it's within 2 away, Marco, for his building, can power from his building. Now you'll notice on the playmats, each building type has a certain number of purple dots. It's hard to see on the red, it's hard to see everywhere. But there's 1 purple dot, just like these are purple dots, for this building, which means if someone builds near him and he's got one of those there, like he does here, he can charge up 1 power. So he's going to charge 1 power. Now, doing this passive action has a cost. It actually costs you victory points. Now, you have to lose as many victory points as you gain power minus 1. Well, pretty simple. Since he gained 1 power from me building next to him, he loses 0 victory points for doing it. It's a free power charge. Now, let's show an example of something a little different. Can you get one of your bigger buildings there?
Yes, right over here.
Sure. So let's say he had a trading post there instead. Okay, and a trading post on the playmat has 2 power next to it. So if I were to build here as I just did, he could then choose to charge 2 power, but it would cost him 1 victory point. So just so you understand, that's how it works. If he had multiple buildings in range, he always charges from the biggest building he has. Okay? Right. So all right, so let's go ahead and reset that. I've done my first turn. It's Marco's turn now.
All right, so we're going to keep this on the board. And what I'm going to do as a first action is Gaia form.
All right,
Gaia form. So I have the map on here. You see this planet right here?
The purple
this
planet,
is called a transdim planet.
Yep.
Now, a transdim planet, what it means is it's basically a dead planet right now.
It's uninhabitable.
Right.
That's right.
And what I'm going to be doing is taking it from an uninhabitable planet and turning it into one of these green planets.
Yep, and actually there's a green planet token, if you'll show them.
Yep. Right here.
That will
Let's put up on the board. Actually, I'll just use it this way.
Yeah.
It's right there. As you can see, it's a nice green planet.
And it will go on top. You can show it on top.
Right.
It'll actually cover the transdim planet
but
when
not
we
yet.
Gaia form it. You're right, when we Gaia form it.
So what I have to do is, as Bryn was showing you before about the power, I have to move 6 power over into my green area.
So you'll notice on the plate on the board, let's go and show this board.
Yeah.
Here's your Gaia planet area. So if I wanted to do a Gaia project the way he's doing, I'd have to take 6 of my power circles and move them over here. They can come from anywhere. So if I had things here, I would move all 6 to this area. Okay? Once I've done that, I can take one of my I can't remember what these are called, but basically the things that Gaia formers, and place this on a purple, place it on a purple, what's the right word? The transdim planet.
Right.
Okay, so he's going to show you how that works. Now, I personally don't have access to this ability, which was the purple track on the research track, which I'll show more detail later, because I will be doing this myself and showing you more detail. Let me reset my power really quick.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the board.
Yep.
All right, so now
He's
I've
spent his
paid
6
my power, and I'm just going to put this onto the planet.
Yep, that's right.
And then that's all I can do for this small action. And it's now Bryn's turn.
Yep. Next turn, we're going to see what happens when you start the round with one of those transformers in place.
Right.
Great. So that's his first turn. Okay, so for me, I want to build another one, okay? I want to build another one of these cool, I want to terraform another planet. So the next closest one for me to do that's actually orange is this one here on the board. Notice it's really far away. So I have a range of 1. That's 1, 2 far away. So if I were to use a QIC, that would give me the range to get there. Why? Because the QIC adds 2 to my already 1 range, making it a range of 3. So I could build there. The question is, do I have enough resources? Because it's still going to cost me 4 resources to build it and 2 money. Well, the problem is I've only got 3 ore. I don't have enough ore to be able to do it. So now we're going to see if there's another way in the game that I can get ore. And there is, actually. So I can, if you look at my board again, I can spend 3 power to gain 1 ore. I can also spend 3 power to do 1 transmute. As you see, a lot of my power is up here unusable, okay? So that creates a special problem for me. If I want to get power into here where I can actually start spending it on cool abilities, I've got to be able to move power somehow. So that brings me over back to the research track. I really need either some extra power to use to be able to charge, and as you see, there's nothing on here that I can charge power with, or I need more resources. Well, notice that if I move up at least 1 step on the terraforming track, I immediately gain 2 ore. That would be enough to be able to do the terraforming. So let me go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go back to my board. As you see, we're jumping around a whole lot, but that's how the game works. I happen to have 4 here, 4 knowledge here. So I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3, 4. Anytime you spend 4 knowledge, you can move up 1 space in the track. So I'm back over here, and I'm going to move up my token 1 space on the track, giving me 2 ore. I'm going to move 2 ore up to here to 5. Now I'm in a position, now doing that action, that research action, was my turn. Okay, so now at least now I know that I have enough ore to be able to do the Gaia for me next turn.
Right, so I'm going to keep it on the board here and go to us. And I'm going to do the same thing because right now I need more research. So I'm going to spend 4, and I'm going to go up the navigation track.
Navigation track?
Oh, I'm sorry, not the navigation track. The Gaia forming
track. Oh, the Gaia forming track, great.
Which is, if you take a look there, it gives me 3 power.
That's called gaining power.
Right.
So he's going to add 3 power to his wheel. He's going to actually put it in the number 1 position on his wheel. So now he has more power to be able to do Gaia forming. So this is a good chance to talk about the purple track. Notice how I'm at the bottom, and it says I can't do Gaia forming. That's what the X means, right? Now, Marco started here as the Terrans, which means he gains access to his first Gaia former, and it costs him 6 power in order to be able to Gaia form. As he moves up through this, he'll gain access to more Gaia formers, and he'll gain, it'll be cheaper to actually terraform planets in the future. Right. So right now he's got 3 more power to do it, And that's your turn, right?
All right, that's my turn. Now it's back.
So back to me, back to Bryn. So I want to be able to build right here again. We talked about it. I need a range of 3, so I've got to spend my QIC, which I'm going to spend. Let me go through that back in the pool. QIC spent in order to build this is going to cost 4 ore. So 1, 2, 3, 4 ore, and 2 coins, and now I've built it. Now something we didn't do, we should have done is, remember this round, the bonus is every single time we build a mine, we gain 2 points.
Yep.
Well, I would have gained 2 from my first one and 2 from my second one I just built.
That's true.
Okay, and that's the end of my actions.
All right, so I'm going to go here and...
You know what? Before Marco goes, he's deciding, there's one other thing we forgot to cover.
Yes, and I'll let him, Bryn,
I'm going to do it right now.
Go over.
Okay. So at the beginning of the game, we got to pick these. These are starting markers, okay? They give you an extra benefit at the beginning of each round, and sometimes they give you extra benefits for points for the round. So this is the one I selected before the game began for this round. It says I gain 2 more coins and 1 extra QIC. So let me go ahead and get 2 coins, 2 credits, and 1 extra QIC. So let me go take that back. Whoops. And I'll gain 2 credits. Great. Marco also chose one. He's pulling out now, so he's going to show you what he chose.
This one right here.
So it allows him to immediately, he should have at the beginning of the round charged 2 power. Wouldn't have mattered because the power would have gone into his terraformer.
Right.
But then it gives him a one-time action. Anything that's it's a hexagon, right? Allows you to increase your range by that number. But this one does. It allows you to take it as a one-time action. So instead of building only 1 away, 1 action he can build up to 4 away.
Exactly.
So, which is pretty good.
So here I go. I have up to 4 I can go. And for me, the greatest thing about this, the Terrans, is not only can I go to one of these, let me switch over the map. I can go over to a red planet like Bryn's over here. Mm-hmm. I can also go to white in one transdim.
Yeah, 1 terraform.
1 terraform.
Yep.
So what I'm going to use is my power here.
Okay, so use a power token to cover
That's right.
Good to that. Okay.
And if you see right here, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yep.
So I'm going to build onto that planet.
Okay. It's going to, just like mine, it costs 1 terraforming, so it's going to cost him 4 ore.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And 2 coins.
Right.
2 credits. 2. Great. Okay, and you'll gain 2 points for having done that, because that's your first one you've built. So we move you 2 points on the track. Great. So what we're going to focus on right now is let's keep the board here and there on the main board and on the tech board, because most of the game is going to be happening in these 2 areas. Now we do have the cool playmat, and as I build new buildings, we'll go back to the playmat to show you how those work. But in general, though, most of the game's going to be spent in these 2 areas. Right. Okay. So we're going to put a special detail here, since this is where all the text is. In general, you can see over here where all the little buildings that we built. All right. So I am now out of resources, okay? I don't have any power that's ready to charge. I have 1 ore and 2 credits. I could build another mine if there was something close to me, and as you can see, there's just nothing close, and my range is 1. So for me, this is the end of my turn, so I'm going to pass. Now when I pass, I'm going to exchange this token. Oops. There I go again, switching cameras on you. I'm going to exchange this token, the starting token, for a different one. So I'm going to go ahead and grab one that I think is going to help me, and it's probably going to be this guy right here. Actually, that guy's not going to help me very much. Oh, boy, none of these are going to help me very much, are they? I will grab this one. Okay, so I'm going to grab this one right here, and I take it. Now, when I take it, I turn it face down. I'm just showing you face down in my area to show that my turn is over, and then Marco can just continue to take turns until he's done. Okay, so I'm going to put the one that I no longer use, I'm putting back over in the general supply. So there's a lot of places to look at in this game. I'm putting it back into the general supply so that we know that it's now accessible for Marco for him to be able to take.
Right. All right, so my next turn I'm going to do, my next action, is spend my QIC right here, as you guys can see it.
Okay.
To move up to 2 more spaces away.
Okay.
And I am going to build on this next blue planet.
Yeah, he's got a blue planet. So
that's
now blue planets only cost 1 ore and 2 credits for him because he doesn't have to terraform them at all. He just gets to build a mine.
Right. So there we go.
And that's going to score him 2 points as well for this round.
All right. And right now, I think I'm going to be spending. I mean, I'm going to be passing.
All right.
At this point, because I don't want to spend too much of my stuff, because I got to prep for the other 5 rounds we have going.
That's right. Great. So since it's the end of the round, I'm going to focus on the scoring wheel here for a moment.
All right. Let me just pull that up.
Okay. So the scoring wheel. Now, whenever we colonize a planet, what I like to do is I like to put a satellite on that planet type. So since Marco built on a white planet, there we go, and I built on an orange. And the reason why we did this wheel this way, and we keep track of how many different color planets we're on, is because different abilities in the game board will give bonuses based on based on how many planets different planets you're currently occupying. So as I'm able to build on more planets, build on color wheel, it makes certain actions more powerful. So what we're going to do first of all, since this round is over, we're going to take this one and we're going to flip it over. That part of the game is over. We're now moving to the next. We're now moving to round 2. In round 2, every trading post we build is gonna give us 3 points. So let's talk about trading posts. So
before we do that,
go ahead.
Since we're still on this map real quick,
okay.
If you notice the objective here, this is for every building you have, we move up on this track.
That's right. So right now, to count my buildings, I've got 4 total buildings out there, so I'm going to move up 4 spaces.
All right.
And Marco has 4 buildings. The terraformer doesn't count as a building yet. It will soon. But he has 4 buildings as well. We have no satellites currently, so no reason to adjust that.
Exactly.
Great.
All right, so now let's talk about
the trading post upgrade. Okay.
So we're going to switch over back to the board.
Okay, on the board. Now, trading posts upgrade out of mines. Mines literally become trading posts when you upgrade them, okay? A general trading post upgrade, and this is on the board, but I'm going to focus on this area right here, costs 2 ore and either 3 or 6 credits. If you're within 2 spaces or range or a neighboring an opponent, like for instance this place is here, or this place is here, or this place is here, within 2 spaces of an opponent, it only costs 3 credits to upgrade that mine into a trading post. However, if you're more than 2 spaces away, like this one over here, or possibly this one right here, it costs 6 credits to upgrade. So this turn we're trying to upgrade as many as we can into trading posts for points, right? All right, so first thing we do at the beginning of round 2 is we collect our income. So our tokens that we took, go ahead and take your token. Yep. So our starting token that we took, this is the one I took, so I gained this as income. So I'm going to gain 2 power. Actually, I'll do this last, and I'll show you why in a moment. But let's go ahead and count resources first. I'm going to count ore. I get 1 ore from this, 2, 3, 4, 5 ore total. So I'm at 1, I'm now at 6. I'm going to gain 1 knowledge. I'm going to gain 3 coins, plus the 2 coins over on the other track, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I get to charge 1 power, which is going to move up here. And now I'll go ahead and take the 2 additional power I gained from this, which actually takes 2 power from the supply and puts them into the first spot on my track. And I've now gained all of my income.
All right. Now I'm going to do my same income. Now after all income is done, you then move your power that you got. And let's do it this way real quick, guys.
Okay.
All right, so you're going to take the power that's on Bryn's board here. Let's say he had Gaia formed. Okay. So I'm just going to move it here.
That's right. Right. So this is right after the income phase. Right. We're doing the Gaia phase.
Right, because this is important for the fact that I have Gaia phased. I have done the Gaia forming, and unfortunately my board isn't shown.
That's right.
So yeah. I'm going to show it on
you
Bryn's.
Show mine. That's fine. Okay.
So after income, you then move power from here back over to 1.
Yep. Any power that's in your Gaia forming moves back over into the 1 space. Actually, we'll show. It goes into the 1 space, right, and then has to be moved after that. So that's after income. So so once that's done, every single Gaia former you have out there, Marco has 1 right now, immediately gets turned into a green planet. That's right. So we're going to do that. We're going to put the green planet. The Gaia former is on top. The Gaia former now allows you to build mines on there for the regular mine costs, right? It's already been terraformed. You don't have to spend additional terraforming costs. So that's good.
And it's important to note also that do not Gaia form in stage 6. That is a very important strategy to know because you can't use it and it's a waste of your energy.
Basically, since the game's only 6 rounds, you don't actually get credit for the Gaia forming until the next round. Since there's no 7th round, your Gaia formers don't actually do anything for you. You just wasted power.
Right. So do all your Gaia forming between round 1 and round 5.
All right.
Round 6, just don't even worry about it.
That's right. Okay.
All right. So we're gonna go back to the main board, and we're gonna go to the research track over there.
Great.
All right. So since you passed first,
since I passed first, it's my turn first. Okay. And so we're gonna be able to see the 2 boards. So the first thing I want to be able to do is I really want to build I want to build a trading post. So in order to do that, I'm going to actually build a trading post here. There's a reason I'm building it here, because it's within 2 steps of his Gaia former, and I feel like he's probably going to build there this turn. And if he does, I'll get to charge power because of that passive neighboring bonus. And I want to get the most power I can possible. So that's going to cost me two ore. And because I'm neighboring, it's only going to cost me three money. So 1, 2, 3. I take this, I put it back on my board. Now when I put it back on my board, a couple things just happen. I'll point to my board really quick. One, I covered back up one of my resource gains. So I'm not going to get as many, I keep calling resources, but ore. I'm not going to get as much ore. But I did open up more money for myself. So that's going to allow me to make more money next turn. And the next thing it did for me is it actually increases my points by 3. So 1, 2, 3 points because I built a trading post this turn. And it's your turn, Marco.
All right, so we're going to move back onto the map. And
Marco, you can also charge 1 power because I upgraded or built within 2 steps of you.
All right.
So he's going to charge a power for free. Okay.
And I'm going to do exactly that. I am going to Gaia form this. Upgrade it to a mine.
To a mine, yep.
Right,
so
and
again,
what this lets me do, let me show you on here, is the reason I picked up this ability is because anytime I build on a Gaia form planet, I get a point.
To get a victory point, yep.
That's right.
Actually, it's not just anytime you build. That's a red arrow. Come show it again.
Yep. Actually, end of the round.
At the end of the round, that's what the red arrow means as opposed to the green. The red arrow means at the end of the round, for every single Gaia planet he has buildings on, he gets a point. So if he's doing that now, he's going to have a Gaia foreign planet, he's going to have a mine on it, he'll get a point at the end of the round.
All right.
At least one. Okay.
Going back here, and here we go. So I'll take this back, put a mine there.
And that allows me to charge power.
Yep. And
so now I can charge 2 power for the cost of 1 victory point. I'll happily take that. I move back a victory point, but I get to move 3 of my power from my board over to the area where I can now spend it.
Right, so now it's your turn?
My turn. Well, this is really cool, guys. So I've got 3 power now. Access 3 power if we want to show my board instead of what's over here. Great. So now I've got access to 3 power because of what... I'm sorry, I shouldn't have had 3. I should have 2 power because I got to charge 2.
Right.
Okay. So I have 2 power from that. So I have access to 2. I need to get a little more power in there in order to do some really cool effects. There's some cool effects that cost 3 and 4 that I really want to do. So for now, I'm going to do another upgrade from another mine to another trading post. So this trading post is going to cost, as it shows here, 2 ore, and either 3 or 6 credits. When we look on this board, we see that he's within 2 of me, so it's only going to cost me 3 credits. So we're going to spend 2 ore and 1, 2, 3 credits. This one comes back and becomes another trading post, which gets me 3 more points.
That's right. And I'm going to do this.
You can charge powers. Right. He can charge power because he's neighboring me.
And I'm going to charge another one.
Okay.
All right, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Okay.
Again, because you are neighboring, it's going to cost me 2 ore. So that's 2, and it's going to cost me 3. So 1, 2, 3.
Great.
And this is going to come back.
It's going to move him up 3 points.
And now you can charge 2.
Now here's the thing: because I have 2 buildings in range, I have to use the biggest building I have. They're both the same, so I choose one of them. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and charge 2 more power, and it's going to cost me 1 more victory point. Great.
Right.
All right, so now I have access to 4 power. 4 power is pretty good. 4 power is worth on the power actions 2 resources, 7 money, 7 credits, or 2 knowledge to be able to get more research. Let me see how the game's going to go from this point. So the more knowledge I have, the more points I can get in the future because it allows me to build up the research track. So let me think about what I want to do. Better terraforming would be good. I'm getting 1 knowledge around right now. You know, I wouldn't mind building another trading post just to score 3 additional points and to have more opportunities to upgrade. So I think I'll do that. Now this one here is not neighboring him. Okay, can they see the double map?
Yeah. Let me show this and put that.
Okay, great. So this one here is not neighboring him. Neither is this one. I have to make a strategic decision on what I'm going to upgrade. I think I'll go ahead and upgrade this building right here. So it's going to cost me the 2 resources as usual, 1, 2, but it's going to cost me
6.
Excuse me, 6 coins. Now I actually have more than 15, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that's going to let me take this off and build another trading post here. Okay, now I built a trading post, so I'll gain 3 more points. 1, 2, 3. He's not neighboring me, so he doesn't get to build any power from that. He has to be within 2 of where I upgraded. Okay, that's my turn.
Right. All right. Now back to me. So there's a few options I can do, and I think what I'm going to do is Gaia form again.
Okay.
So it's going to take me 1, 2, 3, 4,
Cost
5,
him 6 power again. And he gets to place his Gaia form on a planet within range, which is adjacent. Yeah, that works for range.
Right there.
All right, great. So next turn, that's going to be another thing. All right, so I'm still looking here at 4 power available. Now, what I really want to get to, guys, if I can show my board again, or I'm showing my board, is I really want to get to this Planetary Institute. Why? Because when I unlock, everyone has one of them. When this goes down, not only is it worth 3 power for the purposes of gaining power and people build adjacent to you, and also for the purpose of building federations, which we haven't done yet, but it gives me an extra special ability. I can use money to gain resources that I normally wouldn't be able to do. Normally in the game, you spend power to gain resources as opposed on this track here, but this allows me to actually use money for it. I'm the big money faction, so I want to get there as quickly as possible. I need 6 money, which isn't a problem, but I need 4 resources. Well, right now I'm sitting on a big fat 0. I'm only going to gain 2 next round. So I really need to get access to 2 more resources. Fortunately, there's a power over here on the power board where I can spend 4 power to gain 2 resources, which is what I'm going to do right now. So I'm going to go ahead and take 4 power from here, move the 4 that's spendable back into the first position, and now I'm going to be able to take this, cover this action, and it gains me 2 resources immediately. So 1, 2, and that's an action. So back to you.
All right. So back onto the board for me. And you know what? I want to keep it on your board because, again, we're going to show that when I upgrade, you're going to charge more power.
That's right.
So I'm going to upgrade this one right here.
Okay.
So that's going to cost me 3, 1,
Uh-huh.
2, 3, and 2. 1, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Comes
Okay.
right there.
So it's going to score him 3 points. 1, 2, 3. And because he's within range of me, I'm going to gain 2 power. So I have to move from the bottom to the top. It's going to cost me 1 victory point to do that. Okay, great.
Right. And now it's back to Bryn.
Okay, so I've got not a whole lot I can do right at this point. I know next turn I'm building my Planetary Institute, which means I'm going to be all about the money. I'm also going to want to be doing as much research as I can next turn because that's what's being scored. In fact, I'll show that to you right now on my player map board. But next turn, every step we move up the research track gives us 2 points. So I'm excited about doing that, which means I need to go ahead and start preparing for that. So I'm going to end my round. I'm going to go ahead and take, this one right here, which gives me 2 money and lets me do a single terraforming action in a place, which isn't that useful to me because I don't think I'm going to be terraforming anywhere next turn. So let's instead take this one for 1 QIC and 2 money. So take that. This goes back into the pile, and this is mine. It's face down. Okay?
All right. So I'm still looking on this board, and if you notice, on some of these right here, that you have an open spot.
That's right. You don't gain a benefit from building it, yeah.
Or for putting anything back.
That's right.
So that's what I'm going to do, because I still have an open spot available next.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not going to cost me any additional ore, any loss of ore next round. So I'm going to upgrade again.
Yep.
But do I want to? Yes.
It's 3 points if you do.
So I'm going to, do this one right here. So let's go onto the map. And we're going to keep it on the board so you can see it as I go up here. So I'll take that off, put this on.
Okay, so he's building a trading post far away from me, so he's got to spend 6 credits instead of 3. And it still costs 2 ore, but that's going to score him 3 more points. 1, 2, 3. Just like that, you're ahead of me.
That's right.
Savor it.
All right. And
since I already passed, it's just him. So
right, and that is going to be it for me here.
You're passing as well?
I'm going to pass at this point.
Okay.
And let's see. Let's go over here, and I'm going to pick up, just because of the fact that I have a lot of power in 2 right now. I'm going to pick up this one.
He's going to gain more power and another ore next time. So, great.
Right.
Okay, so that's the end of the round. At the end of the round, it's cleanup. So when we go back to the score track, let's calculate what we've got. I still have 4 buildings, but you now have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus a Gaia former. So we're going to move you up to the 5th position. And as soon as that Gaia former becomes something, you're going to gain. You're going to have another building as well.
Right.
So we're going to take this. We're going to flip this over. Did either one of us get any new planets? Any new color planets?
All right. That's also one I want to show. Okay. Is I did have on my card again when I ended my turn. I did have a green planet.
Yep.
So I go one.
You go up 1 more point for that.
That's right.
Okay. Great. And that's great because if he can be built on a lot of green planets, he's going to be able to score a lot of points with that later on in the game. Now, showing the board really quick, I want to show you there's actually green planets already on the board, Gaia planets already on the board. I want to show you those.
Let me just move this over real quick. And let's move the camera.
Yeah.
So if you see onto the...
That's right. See these green planets here that are all visible? Those don't need to be Gaia formed. They're already a Gaia planet. To build on those, though, it not only costs the typical cost of a mine, but it also costs you a QIC. So a QIC, remember the little green cubes, QIC? It's an extra cost for building on a it's like the terraforming cost, basically.
Right.
To build onto a green planet if you haven't Gaia formed it yourself.
That's right.
So great. Okay, so that takes care of that. We're going on to round 3. As I showed earlier, I'm going to pull this up again, right here.
All right, going up.
Okay. Round 3, we're going to score 2 points every time we move up the technology track. So I expect we'll move up the technology track quite a bit this time if we can. And because I passed first, it's my turn first.
Yep, still his turn.
Time to get income.
All right.
All right, so for income, I'm just going to do this quickly. I'm going to do that quickly. So I get 1, 2 of those. 2. Whoops. 1 research, which is great. 1 QIC. QIC coming in my way. I'll get to charge 1 power. And now I also get lots of money. 3 plus 3 plus 4, that's 10, 14, 15, 16. I'll get 16 money. So let's see, I'm at 11. So that's going to bring me up to 27. So there's 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27.
That's a lot of money.
There's only 30 money you have in the game. I'm at 27 right now. So I'm going to try to spend a ton of it this time. Okay, great. So I get all my income. Did you get yours?
I got all my income.
All right, great. So we're ready to move on with the game.
Yep.
Okay, great.
So going back over to the map.
Okay, now my first priority is to get this this large building down immediately. This planetary institute. It costs 4 resources and 6 credits. So here we go. 4 resources. That brings me to 0 resources. 12 credits goes to 6. 6 plus 15. I still have 21. I now get to place this wherever any place I have a trading post. Now this is a strategic decision for me because if I build it next to him, he'll get to charge power. I don't want him charging power. So I'm actually going to build it as far away as I can so he doesn't get the opportunity to do so. The trading post goes back here on my board. I'll make less money next time, but now I have access to this really cool ability and I charge more power now. So now, for a free action, that's what these are, free actions, I can spend money to get resources. I can get QICs, I can get ore, and I can get research. All right, go ahead. Your turn.
All right, so what I'm going to do a bunch of free actions at this very moment.
All right.
By discarding a power.
Yep. So
and moving over power.
So while he's doing that, I'm going to show you what he's doing. He's basically discarding power like this to move it into here because he's got so much extra. He can now spend the power in the 3 on cool abilities.
All right, so I've moved 4 power over, so I've discarded 4.
Yep. And
I'm going to take the 2 research for 4.
For 4 power?
Yep.
Nice, you got to it before I could.
That's right.
Pretty good.
All right, and I moved it up, and now it's back over to Bryn.
Is it? Okay, because you took this action here. Yep. That's right. All right, great. All right, so I've got a planetary institute. Now here, I want to show you something really cool out here on the board. The last thing we haven't shown you yet really are federations. Okay, so a federation is when you combine multiple buildings together to form a collection of buildings. When you do so, you get a federation token. They're pretty cool. Okay, now the end of the game actually is going to reward me for federations, but I at least want to show you how I can do it. To connect a federation, there's lots of little rules for how federations are built, but generally, and I'm not going to get too much into specifics, generally, you're going to build satellites in the space places between the buildings you're going to connect.
Right.
So the rules are, you need to make sure that the buildings that you're connecting have between them at least 7 power. So this one actually is worth 3 power, and how I know that is it's printed on my board, okay? The trading posts are worth 2 power. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So these buildings together make 7 power. While the mine over here technically makes 8, you only need 7 to build a federation, and you have to use as little as possible to build it. You also have to use as few satellites as possible to connect all these, because anything adjacent to a satellite is built. So in order to make a federation out of these, I would need to build 4 satellites. So what do satellites cost? Well, one, they cost an action to build a federation.
Right.
But each satellite costs a power. You have to discard power to do it. So we haven't shown this much, but before we showed how you can take power and move it over to Gaia form, right? We showed you can move power to Gaia form. But you can actually just discard power. Let's say that I wanted to build those 4. I could take 1, 2, 3, 4, take them completely off. They're gone, out of the game, and that lets me build those satellites.
Right.
So you have to spend power to get satellites. So I really need a lot more power before I consider doing that. But I'm just showing you that I have the access to build it now if I wanted to. I'm going to try to wait till later in the game since I'm actually incentivized at the end of the game, and I'll show you why. I'm incentivized at the end of the game. Oops, we just lost it. Okay, yeah.
Nope.
To build, these are the federations. I'll get 5 points per federation I build at the end of the game. So I'm really incentivized to do that later. Great. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Okay, so cool. That was a lot of things. I really want to get research because every research step I move up, the better I do. The more points I'll get this turn. So it's just about what research do I want to move up. Well, I'd like the opportunity to start Gaia forming as well, which means I have to move up this track. Okay, so it's going to cost me 4 research to move this track, or I have to take this token. So how do I get these tokens? Well, I'm going to go back to my board again and show you something. Right here in the middle, where we have these research labs and these academies, there's a shape. That shape is this shape. Anytime I build any one of these buildings, I get to take one of these for free. When I take this, I get the effect of it. This says that whenever I build a mine on a green planet, I go up 3 points, which works out well to be on the Gaia farming track. So I'm going to be able to get this. So to be able to get that, I need to build one of these academies. Research labs build directly from trading posts. So I have decisions to make. If I want to be able to build that, it's going to cost 3 ore and 5 coins, and I'll have to build it from one of my trading posts. Well, I have 0 ore. Fortunately now, I can convert 3 money into 1 ore. So basically I can build this thing for 3 times 3 is 9 money, plus 5 is 14 coins. Well, you know I'm flowing in cash.
And just to show you, these are all free actions.
They're all free actions, so I can just convert my money into resources as much as I want, as often as I want. So here we go. So I now have, I'm going to go ahead and do that. It's going to cost me 14. Well, I'm at 6 right now, so 6 goes to 0. I need to spend 9 more, so I'm down to 15 minus 9 is 6. Oh, actually, let's see, I was at 6 plus 50, that's 21. 21 minus 14. I'm terrible at arithmetic.
All right, so 21 minus 14 is 6.
6, okay, yeah. So I am in the right position. So I have 6 coins left, but I do get to go ahead and build this awesome thing. So I don't have the choice but to build close to where he's at. So I'm going to go ahead and build out.
Nope. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I'm going to build this one into my new research lab. I'll put this back. I now get to take one of these tokens. I would like to take this token right here to gain more points for terraforming green planets, which I'm about to do a lot of. And that's going to move me up on the Gaia forming track, now allowing me to Gaia form as well.
Yep.
Okay, great. And because I moved up on the research track this round, I gained 2 points, again, because it's our victory point condition this round.
Right. And so this turn, what I'm going to do is see, here's the decision I have to make. Do I want to keep on going up the Gaia forming track to make it cheaper for me to Gaia form and charge power? Or do I want to go up a different track to get me more points? Whether it's through research and charging, through money, or through expansion. I've already noticed Bryn is expanding. If we look at the research track right now, Bryn has already started to expand on the terraforming track, as well as the economy track. But Bryn is behind me on the Gaia forming track.
That's right.
So I'm going to go up the Gaia forming track and keep the lead.
Okay.
Because there's an important part here. Anytime you pass this mark, these are worth victory points at the end.
That's right. So the further up you are on the track, the more victory points they're worth. In fact, Each step above 3 or above is worth 4 points.
Right.
So if I ended on the third track of any of these tracks, I'd gain 4 points. If I ended on the fourth track, I'd gain 8 points. And only one player can ever get to the fifth spot, and that player would gain 12 points for being on the fifth spot.
All right, so move me up on the Gaia for me.
Okay, that's going to do a couple things. One, it's going to actually charge 3 power immediately.
Yep.
So he's charging 3. He immediately gains access to another Gaia former.
Yep.
So that'll go on his game board. Now it only costs him 4 power to start Gaia forming.
Oh, and I did forget something. If we're going to go onto the map here.
Oh, yeah.
When we
collected income, right for income, we were supposed to Gaia form that that planet. And he's going to... Oh, that still stays on there until you build on it.
Oh, yeah. It's on build.
Yep. So that happened. And because you moved up on the on a research track, you'll gain 2 points.
All right, and I also get a technology of this same thing.
What? You gain
wait, no, not yet.
Yeah, not yet. Okay, cool.
Once I build.
That's right.
Right.
Okay. So back to me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Okay. So I now, I don't think I have access to enough power, enough research to be able to raise up another track. So I'm going to need to be able to, I'm not going to score any more points from that. I need to prepare for the next round. I wouldn't mind getting out another, I'm really limited on resources. I literally have six credits left. They convert.
Hold on. Sean corrected us. Thank you, Sean. It was 7.
Oh, 7. Okay, it was. I thought it was. I was like, wait a second. Why would I go from 15 to 6? Because it was 14. Got it.
Yes.
I still have only 7 credits, which doesn't allow me to do a lot because it costs 3 credits per ore I need, which is basically almost all of my credits. So there's not a lot more I can do this round. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I can take or do easily. It doesn't look like it. Looks like I'm going to be passing my round. Oh, nope. I can do something. I can Gaia form.
Yes, you can.
I just got access to my first Gaia former, so I'm going to go ahead and take this, place it there. It's going to cost me 6 power, so we're going to do this 3 over here, this 3 over here, and now I've Gaia formed. That was my action.
All right. And you moved me up a point for going on the research track, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
2 points for this research track, yeah.
You know what? I need to put another mine out because ore is an essential for me.
Yeah.
And I'm running low, so I'm going to do that. So we're going to go back onto the board.
Uh-huh.
All right, so we see here that I take off the Gaia former.
He spends the 1 ore and the 2 credits to make another mine. Okay. Now, mines aren't worth anything. Remember how before we were getting points for building mines? This turn, they're not worth points, but they help build up your resources for the future. Okay. All
right, Bryn, your turn.
Back to me. Oh, I'm going to pass because I've got nothing else to do. What I need more than anything right now is money. Tons of money. And I know I'm going to be building maybe on some green planets, so I'm going to take this guy right here. 4 money, and I get 1 point for each green planet I'm on at the end of the round. And so that's going to put that back, and I'm going to flip this one over, and that's my round.
All right, and let's see. I don't have... since it's now cheaper for me to Gaia form, I'm going to start getting rid of more power. So 1 and 1, 1 and 1. 1 and 1. So that gives you 3 power.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to spend these 3 power as a free action to get 1 more ore.
Okay, great. That's all free action. He's basically converting power into resources according to the track, which is right here on their game track. It's on the side of your game track. Okay.
And what I'm going to do now is take my Planetary Institute.
Oh, nice.
So 4 and 6.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 4 right there. And I'm going to change over this planet. Because, again, I do not want to benefit Bryn.
That's right.
By letting Bryn charge. Because you can charge even if you've passed.
If you've passed. It's a passive action.
Right.
So even if you've already passed, I can charge power.
All right.
Great.
And that basically has me spent.
Yep. You're done. So what is your cool effect? All of us have a cool effect.
All right. So my cool effect is, first off,
when he builds up, his cool effect is when he specifically builds his Planetary Institute, of which you only have 1.
Right.
Go ahead. What does it do?
Okay, so whenever I Gaia form a transiting planet, so let's say I'm right there.
Yeah.
Anytime I change it over to a green planet and move that power back, however much power I have moved over, I can spend that power to pick up things like QICs or research or credits.
Oh, wow. So you immediately convert power you used on the Gaia forming into resources immediately.
Right.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay,
so
great.
The more I Gaia form, the more beneficial it becomes.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, so that I'm gonna pass at this point.
Okay, so you can take that back though.
Yeah.
No cheating. Okay.
There was none of that, and I'm gonna pick up
new card. And so I'm gonna go ahead and flip over the third action. We are now halfway done with the game.
All right, and let me show you. This is what I'm picking up.
Yep. QIC and money.
All right,
great.
so
now let's reassess the board here. I've got 1, 2, 3. I still only have 4 buildings. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 buildings. So we're gonna move you up again. So he's ahead of me on the building track, which is great because it's worth more points for him at the end of the game.
Right.
Okay, great. So
as you can see, he was just pointing. I'm still up.
Blue's on 6 buildings. I'm on 4 buildings, and let's move on to round 4.
All right. And I think at this point we're gonna take a little break.
Okay, sounds good.
We're halfway through the game. Let us get some water and give you guys a break because I know it's a lot of information so far.
That's right.
So we'll be right back in about 3 minutes.
All right, sounds good.
All right, here we go.
Great, thank you. You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
Because I know I'm gonna win. I'm gonna win. At some point, I will win, and it will be worth it.
So the last 3 games I can remember playing, like for the first time, were I played Azul recently, actually, really recently. Rise to Nobility, and Mythic Battles Pantheon. So of those games, I gotta say, hands down, Mythic Battles Pantheon.
So the last 3 games I've played most recently is Azul, Star Wars Legion, and Colonist. Now, it's a toss-up here, but I'm going to have to go with Colonist.
I'm not a big miniatures fan. Like, I'm actually not. I look at a miniatures game, and it's pretty, but I'm not really... It doesn't immediately drag me in, right?
There's something about building a civilization over a course of a lot of rounds. And not just that, something you can do 2 epochs and then save for later and come back to it and then do the other 2.
It was a real surprise when a friend of mine brought over Mythic Battles Pantheon. It's this like sprawling game with a ton of little minis. Ton of huge minis, actually huge. But you're playing one of the Greek pantheon, and you recruit other Greek heroes and mythological creatures and peoples to your side. And I was a big Warhammer fan. Now it sounds like I'm a miniatures player, but I'm not really, no. But either way, so he told me, hey, it's like Warhammer. I'm like, I'll believe it when I see it, right? So we're playing it, and no, it's nothing like Warhammer. But
there's just something that feels like I have accomplished something with that. I'm starting from the ground up, and games like that really make me just want to play them over and over and over again. Like, I'd sit down right now and play it. I'd probably go to 2 or 3 epochs, take 3 to 4 hours playing it, and then just be dead, like mindless afterwards. I love games like that really take a lot of strategy and thought, and then afterwards you're spent.
The game is it just has that right niche of it's gamey because you've got the cards and you've got to decide how you're going to best effectively move and maneuver your troops based on the action selection of the cards that you have in your hand. But at the same time, it's still, dudes on a map, and it's got some really fun, neat abilities that go along with each, and really cool synergies that exist. You get to draft your army. So for me, as far as the last 3 games I've played, don't get me wrong, I love Azul. Azul is great. I can play Azul with my spouse all the time. It's an easy one to pull out. But if I could play one right now, it would absolutely be playing a 2-player game of Mythic Battles Pantheon. Pantheon Mythic Battles.
All right, and we're back.
All right, thanks so much for the break.
We're going to do the final 3 rounds of... wow, I just went blank.
We're playing Gaia Project.
I know, Gaia Project.
I almost said Terra Mystica a few times. Okay.
So we're going to complete the last 3 rounds of Gaia Project. Even though I love this game, I can't say it right now. We've already done income.
And
so,
we just did the income without you, so we're ready to go.
Right.
I'm first player again.
All right, Bryn, let's go back to your board, and you can go to map or.
So what I want to show on my board real quick, or the close-up detail, is this. All right. So this round we're going to gain 5 points for each Planetary Institute, which I built last turn. Whoops.
Oh. I can't believe I didn't see that.
So, Marco could have waited a turn to build his Planetary Institute, and he would have gotten 5 points. But I didn't either, so that's how it goes. And each academy we build is also worth 5 points. So academies actually build from your, what are these called? From your research stations.
Right.
Become academies. And that's exactly what I want to focus on this turn. So I got a problem, though. I've only got 6 power. Oh, wait. Income happened, Gaia forming phase, right?
Yep.
So my 6 power comes back into the pool, and this becomes a green planet. We put a green planet underneath there for me?
Yep.
And put my Gaia former back on top. Great. All right. So that's definitely what I want to see there. Okay, great. So, all right. So what am I going to do? 5 points for building up that. So I've got 2 resources. I need to get 6, so I need 4 more. Is there any easy way I can get resources? It'll cost me 4 power to gain 2 resources. Unfortunately, on my board I only have 3 power, 3 power right now.
All right.
So that is no fun at all. So, okay, we're going to do the money thing. So let's go ahead and spend a whole bunch of money to do this. All right, so I am short 4 power. That's 3 coins for each one. So that's 12 coins plus 6. I have to spend 18 coins or 18 credits. I'm at 15 plus 4 right now. So I'm going to be, that's 19. I've spent 18. I'll be down to 1. And I'll build this only.
Real quick. The markers that are above the round, this shows us what the planets we are.
Yeah.
As well as what planets we can go to.
Yeah.
So Bryn is, as you can see, the render with the moons.
That's right.
And can terraform one away here. And I am the Earth, and I can terraform to the white with 1 terraform.
That's right. So yeah, this wheel basically, the further away a planet color is from yours, the more it costs to terraform to get there. It's just another reference that's just like the reference on your board. However, we also put our satellites on there to show which planets we've currently occupied, because certain effects, which we haven't triggered in yet,
right,
but certain effects ask you to count how many different planets you've terraformed, different color planets you've terraformed, to gain some sort of benefit. So there's that. So let me see. I really, really need some resources. How do I want to get them? So QICs are very interesting little things, okay? QICs can turn into ore. QICs can turn into ore directly. It's actually printed right here. QICs can turn directly into ore. So I can save myself a lot of money by using these as ore. So I'm going to use 2 of these as ore, 2 ore, spend 6 coins to get the other 2 ore, I need. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's all the ore to be able to build the academy. I'll need to spend 6 more coins now. So I'm at 13. It drops me down to 7. I can now build the academy. I'm going to actually build this academy specifically. And I'm going to build it on my research station, which is within 2 of you. So if you'd like to go ahead and
no.
these are gone. Charge power.
No, I don't want to lose.
Power.
I'm choosing not to lose points.
Choosing not to lose points. All right, that's fine.
That's what I'm choosing.
Auto charge power. So there's a couple effects for me doing this. The first one is, well, that's built. I'm going to gain 5 points for building that. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, I'm ahead of you again, Marco. Yay. 5 points. All right, great. 5 points are done there. I now get to gain one of these tokens again. And so for me, I'm really struggling with ore, although money is worth quite a bit to me as well. I'm going to go ahead and take, I'm going to show you this because I get to take one of these. I'm going to take this one. Now these ones at the bottom here, if I take it, means that I can move up in any track I want. So I'm going to take this one because it gives me an ore and it gives me an extra power charge, which is great at the beginning of each round, and I get to move up on any track. I'm specifically going to move up on this track, which gives me even more ore on the economy track, more ore, more money, or it's just the same amount of money, and more charging. So that's what I've done for my round.
And, all right, so to answer another question, I'm going to pull up 2 different boards here.
Great.
So the question was, what are the numbers on top? Right here. Now that's a question I think I can answer.
Great.
Bryn has.
I don't have any idea.
All right, so this numbers on top is 0 and
right?
5. Those actually are referred to for solo play.
Oh, they're part of the automaton.
Right.
Yeah.
They have nothing to do with the actual gameplay here. The one that affects normal gameplay with others, multiplayer, is right down here. Up here affects the points that the automa gets. As you can see right here, 1, 2, 3 gets 0. 4, 5, 6 gets 5 points.
I don't know what that means, but so, that's okay. We're not
that's the turn number.
You know, you guys should tell us if you'd like to see Marco do a solo play of this on It's Your Turn live stream.
No, I'm good. But I did want to go over that.
Great. Good question.
Great question, Sean. That was fantastic. All right, going back to my turn now.
Okay, great.
So I'm going to go back onto the map. So here we go. And I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Because I need to start getting tech tiles. The tech tiles are really going to help with me catching up. Even though we're really neck and neck, we're not.
Yep.
It may seem that way, but we're really not. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to spend 5 money. So that puts me to 6 and 3 ore.
5 money and 3 ore. That's going to build what?
I'm going to take this.
Okay.
And put a research lab right onto that planet. Now that allows Bryn to power up.
I can gain 2 power for the cost of 1 point. I'm not going to do that.
Right.
Because, well, I'm not going to do it. I'll go over that
again.
Okay.
It's the cost of victory points.
Doesn't benefit me
so
right now.
What this allows me to do is now pulling up the research track is lets me pick up any one of those towers and trying to see which tree I want to go up. I'm going to take...
You know what? I'm going to take it. I'm getting 2 power and losing a victory point.
All right.
I've decided to do something different this turn than I was going to do. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I am going to take the tile that gives me 1 research and 1 money. So that will move me up the AI track.
Research and money? Oh, right here. Great.
Yep.
So research and money tile for you. Blue's going to move up the AI track, artificial intelligence track, which gives you a QIC.
All right, and that's 2 QICs, and
Great.
that's my turn.
Okay, so where I'm at here is I now got 2 power up here. That's what I really wanted. I'm going to kill one of them to move one in here. And that now gives me the 4 I need. Now that was a free action to do that. So the 4 power I need allows me to get some more stuff. So I can get 7 coins for me is actually better than 2 ore because I can translate the coins directly into ore. So I think I might do that. I've also got the ability to move up in research. Let's go ahead and take the 7 coins action though for 4 ore. So this 4 moves back into the bottom. And I'm going to gain 7 credits. So I'm at 7, so I'm now at 14. Okay.
All right.
To you.
And now back to me is... I'm going to spend my 2 QICs to do nothing right now. I thought I was going to do something, but I'm not.
Okay.
Actually, what I'm going to do is... This may sound surprising.
I'm surprised.
I'm going to pass.
I'm shocked. You're passing first?
Yeah.
All right. So while he does his thing, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my turn and show what I'm doing. So because I got access to this really cool action here, notice how it's got the, notice how this has a hexagon around it. It allows me to take the action to gain a QIC. I can do that once per round. So I'm going to gain a QIC. And let's do some more things. I needed more trading posts to make more money. So this mine's going to become a trading post. A trading post costs me 2 ore and it's going to cost me 6 coins. So that's a total of 12 coins. I'm at 14, so I'll drop down to 2, turn this mine into a trading post out here, which is great. Now the question is, do I want to terraform that planet? I'm almost out of resources. I still have 4 research. Let's go ahead and use the 4 research. Actually, maybe I won't. 4 research will let me move up one resource track. And I don't know if there's any that I want to move up at the moment. Actually, there is. Okay, so let's do it. I'm going to spin the 4 research. Move up in this track here. It's going to let me charge 3 power. So 3 power moves up here. 1, 2, 3. And that's going to actually increase the number of resources I get as well.
Right.
And because now I'm on the third spot of the track, I'll get some victory points for it at the end of the game. All right, and that's it for me. That's as much as I want to do this turn. So I'm going to pass 2. At the end of my round, for every green planet I've built on, I get a point. I'm not actually built on any green planets yet, because I decided to wait till next turn to do it. So that's going to go away. I'm going to pick a new ability, and I just can't pass up this awesome one that gives me 2 coins and a QIC again. So I'm going to take that one, put this back, and that's the end of this round, right?
Yep, that's the end.
All right, great. So this one flips over. Let's reassess the point track. I have 1, 2, 3. I still only have 4 buildings. You're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're at 6 buildings, which is how many we've had before.
Right.
And none of us building satellites yet. So, all right, getting close to the end. So income.
All right.
Okay, income.
So income phase. We'll pull up your board again.
Yep, I'm gonna gain. Oh, I only gain 1 ore. Oof, that's rough. Don't need more mines. 1 research. Power, I'm gonna gain. Oh, 1 more ore from my. I went up the economy track, so because you gain another ore.
Right.
Okay. Now power. There's 3 plus 4. It's gonna move up 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I get to add 1 from this. Great. Moves power there. It's power, and I need money, so tons of money. That's gonna be 10 plus 3. It's 13. I'm at 2, so it's going to move me up to 15 coins right now. 15 credits. I think, anytime we have a build at the end of the round, these clean up, they come off. So all the abilities are available the next round again.
All right. And actually now, because I passed first, give me that first player marker.
Okay, first player marker.
All right, so I become first player now.
All right. And first.
This is now my action to go. And again, I still need to start moving.
And we're going to show something else.
All right, we're going to go.
This round, we're going to gain 4 points for every time we place a mine on a green planet.
Right.
So we're going to see lots of mines on green planets this time, most likely.
So I'm going to use my research here for research. And I'm going to move up the navigation track. So that way I can start moving. I'll get a QIC, and it's still 1 to move, to go across. So move me up on the research track.
Okay.
The blue track.
Blue?
Yep.
Right here? Okay. That gets you a QIC?
Yep. So I got my QIC, so I have 3 now. That was my first turn.
All right. So for me, I know that I'm gaining. Oh, I actually gained 2 more money, which I forgot to give myself.
And
2 money and a QIC. Yep. Great.
There you go.
All right. So let's do. I definitely want to do as many green planets as I can. I've already locked down this one. I'm the only one that can build on that one. There's this green planet here, which would be great to build on as well. Now that green planet, remember how it costs a QIC to build it. I don't have the range though. If I had been smarter, I would have taken the tile over that gives me extra range. But I didn't do that. I was
too busy looking at other things.
Actually, I forgot to give myself the income from this as well. So there's 1 more resource I get. And then 1 more power. That would have actually moved there because I added that one at the end. Okay, great. So I've got 3 power on my track right now. 4 power would be some more money, which would be great. 5 power actually allows me to terraform twice. Terraforming twice could be really useful as well. I have some decisions to make. I can probably do that next round. So why don't I save that for now? Let's go ahead instead and get that green planet before he gets it. Now he has access to other green planets, but he can shut me out of that one. That's the closest one I have. There's a couple ways to do that. If I can gain my research twice, I can get to 2 range. That's not going to happen soon enough. So I'm going to spend a QIC to give myself the range to get to that green planet. I'm going to spend a QIC to terraform that green planet. I'm going to spend 2 money and 1 ore, and that allows me to place this right on a green planet there. There's all my QICs. Now, green planet benefits. First one is, whenever there's a mine placed on a green planet, I'm going to gain 4 points this round. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4. But I also have, what? That's what that is, yeah. But I also have this effect, which every time I place a mine on a green planet, I gain 3 points. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3 more. Yay for synergy.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, and because I built within 2 spaces of you, you can charge power. He can charge up to 3 power for a cost of 2 victory points.
Again, it's not worth it for me.
All right.
So
all right.
I'm going to go on the board, and I am also going to go onto a green planet here. And I'm going to use 2 QICs right up here to move and to build on that planet.
Okay.
So that's going to cost me 1 and 1, 2.
All right. So you're going to move up 4 points for that, right? Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Time for me to build on another. Except I'm going to build on the one that I actually have a Gaia former on, which is only going to cost me 1 ore and 2 coins. So 1, 2. This becomes a mine. Would you like to charge power?
Nope.
Okay, but that is going to score me the 7 points I get for building on green this turn. Okay, great. 7 points.
All right, so now I'm going to actually build another research facility because, again, I need more things. And so I'm going to spend 3 and 6 to build right here.
A research facility, great. Well, he's within range of my academy, which means I can now charge 3 power if I want to, and I will. So 3 power goes 1, 2, 3, and that's going to move me back 2 points.
All right. And now, because I built a facility, I get a tile on the research track.
Yep, research track tile. There's an automatic QIC and a resource.
You know what I'm going to get?
7 points.
I'm gonna get the 7 points. Yeah.
All right. So he's taking the one that gives him 7 points immediately, and he can move up on any research track he chooses. So let me move you up 7. Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna move up on the navigation track.
That's this track here.
Yep.
Move up. He now has a range of 2, which is great. That'll get him a lot of places.
As you can see, 2 planets. Okay. Let me show you onto the map. Let's move here and here now.
Yep, that's great. Yeah. Wow. You're gonna. Yeah, good job. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to spend my action space, my special action space here to give myself another QIC. So QIC for me. Okay, back to you.
And now back to me, back onto the map. As you can see, I have 2 spaces I want to go towards. So I'm going to spend 1 and 2. So I get 4 victory points to go here.
Ooh, 4 victory points?
Yep.
Good job. And you're not within range of me, so I can't charge any power. Okay.
That's right.
So now I'm going to do what I've been waiting to do. I'm going to spend 5 power from here. 5 power spending from section 3. I just spent 5 from here. Okay, great. And I now get to take this double terraform, which is what I want, because I want to take this yellow, which for me is a double terraform, to get it to a habitable planet for me.
Right.
So I'm going to spend the QIC, so I have the range to get there. That gives me a range of 2 plus 1 is 3, which now allows me to build a mine on it for the cost of 1 ore and 2 coins.
All right.
I've got a mine. Great.
So I'm going to pull up 2 things. I'm going to pull up the research and us.
Okay.
Because I'm now about to build a federation.
Oh, federation? You sure you want to do that right now?
You know,
next turn you get benefits for building federations.
That's true, I do. But I'm kind of down right now.
Okay.
So I'm going to hold off.
There's going to be trust me, there'll be lots of federations the last turn.
Right.
All right.
So I guess instead of that, I'm going to Gaia form. I'm going to keep that there. It only cost me 4 at this point. Take this little guy and put him right there.
Okay. Put that there to show I have a yellow planet now.
All right.
Dang it, he got to it before I did.
I did.
I had to spend that power first.
All right. And again, my benefit for the next round is when I move this power, it lets me get items.
Oh, he's got it right in my way. So we're only playing 2 players, and it is a smaller map for 2 players. It's a bigger map for 3 and 4 players. But so there is some interaction that really matters, and especially when you're playing multiple players, you're really going to get each other's faces, and it's really going to be a lot of fun, lots of interaction.
I mean, as you can see already, we are already mingled together here.
You have blocked me out, so my best chance is another. By the way, I took this double terraform. It's a double terraform to that white planet over there, but I don't have the range to get there, and I'm nowhere near it.
Right, and I mean that's what this is. There is no take that on that, but it's strategically planting your planets so you are blocking your opponents.
Yep.
From expansion.
Literally, my next move was to Gaia just to do exactly what he did to that planet right there, and I will not get a chance now. So.
Right, but it looks like what he's gonna do again. As you can see, the map is shown up. It looks like we have. See, do you have the advanced one? All right, so we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, You won't be able to build 2 federations.
No, I won't. So I got decisions. Yeah, I will build a second federation. I will. It's going to have to come at great expense, though. It's actually going to cost me 2 ore, which I don't have, and 6 coins, which would normally be 2 times 3 for me is 6 plus 6, 12 credits. I have 11 credits, so it's not. I'm not gonna be able to do it. However, here's something really cool you guys haven't seen yet. So let me show you on 2 on my board.
Right.
I'm going to kill one of these to move one in here. Now I have 1 power in here. Might not seem like it does much, but if you look down here, 1 power turns to 1 coin. So I'm going to spend the 1 power to gain 1 coin. That gives me 12. 12 allows me to spend 6 of it to convert. Remember my rate of 3 to 1. 6 of it converts to 2 resources. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And because I'm turning this into and it's far away from him, I have to spend another 6, which is the rest of my money to put down a trading post. Now I get to build a second federation. And we haven't got to federations yet, so it may not make sense yet, but you need a lot of power within your buildings to build federations.
Right.
All right, so that was my action, and it's your turn.
So what, again, you don't see I'm doing, spending another 4, and Gaia forming, just to show you on the map.
What are you doing?
Here we go.
What are you doing? He's so proud of himself.
Oh, another planet. That's rough, isn't it?
It is, actually. Okay.
Because all of that, first off, again, I can switch it into items when it goes over.
Yeah.
And it automatically goes into 2.
It does move into 2?
It moves into 2.
So his really cool planetary ability allows him to use power in ways that it shouldn't be allowed to be used. But
right.
I'm just kidding.
No, well, it's the exception.
All right.
And there are other factions that allow you to have certain special rules for how you use power.
Yeah, well, I've got nothing to do, so I'm going to pass.
All right.
And take this one, which I'll definitely be able to... I'll show it. Yeah, I'll definitely be able to use this next time. All the green planets are worth points for me at the end of next turn. I definitely don't want him having that.
No.
So I'm going to take it, put that one back, and that's me passing the round, which means I'll go first next time, too.
All right, so that was a pure hate pick on his part. Because he knew that I was going to go for it.
I knew it. Well, it's good for me, for one.
So first off, you get the first player. No.
All right.
No. All right, at this point, I still have... I need to get some money. Is there any way for me to get money at this very moment? No. So I guess I'm going to have to pass.
All right. All right. Him taking that action.
All right. So I'm going to pick up this one right here. I'm just going to show you on this one. It's going to give me another QIC and 2 additional money next turn.
2 credits. All right, great. All right, so it's the end of the round.
Yep.
So we're done with this. We're done scoring for our green planets. Let's go ahead and reassess this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 7 buildings now. I just shot up in buildings. How about you? Oh my gosh.
8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh man, I don't know if I'm going to catch you on the buildings. That's nuts. All right, no satellites yet, so no reason to move this. We flipped this over. So it's the final round of the game, and we are benefiting from building federations. Every federation you build is worth 5 points this round. So, beginning the round, let's go ahead and get our income.
Yeah. Okay. So, Bryn's going to show you the income on his board.
Okay.
And I'm going to do mine.
All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and put this here because you need to know that I'm getting a little more. Actually, it's hard to show. There we go. I'm getting a little more from that. And I'm also getting some more from over here. So, I'm gonna go into the ones over here on the side first. So, it gives me 1 of this, 3 coins, and 3 power. 1, 2, 3 power. Okay, now we'll do this one for another one, another power. Whoops. Now we'll do this one for 4 power. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 added to the pool. Here is 1 research, or 1 knowledge. Here is going to be, take this off. 6 plus 4. I'm sorry, 10 plus 4 is 14. So there's 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 3 more ore. So 1, 2, 3 more ore. Done.
All right, so we're ready to go.
Nope. Gaia phase.
Gaia phase. I've already done it.
Oh,
well,
so
I've moved my power over. I've already gotten I've gotten 2 QICs out of it.
Yep. Did you go ahead and turn these planets green?
No, I'm gonna do that.
Okay.
Let's turn these planets green if I don't wreck the world.
All right. Go ahead. All right, great. I assume that was...
Yeah.
You just knocked off mine. Okay, great. Okay.
All right, so here we go.
Final round of the game. All right, so it's time to start forming federations. They gain extra points. So let's show you some of the federations that you can get. I'm going to show them right. Where do you think it would be best to be able to show these federations?
Here, let me pull up this on the big map. All right.
Okay, so these things up here I'm putting down look like this. They're federations, okay? Like this one's worth 12 victory points if I build it. This one's worth 6 coins and 7 victory points if I build it. So you see how these kind of work. I can, whenever you build a federation, you choose one to build, and it becomes, you know, you gain that federation, and you gain its benefits immediately. So the 12-point one's pretty cool because there's a lot of points, but the other ones gain resources, and resources are really important to me. I'm thinking, oh, I forgot to give myself this. I do gain 4 more money. So we go up 1, 2, 3, 4 credits. Okay, so I've got a lot of building I can do here if I want to, and I do. I have terraformed 3 total planets. I have no QICs. Sorry, this is the end of the game for me as far as deciding what to do.
Yeah, Paul, just want to let you know we are at the end of the game. This is the last round. We just started our last round.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I would like very much to get this advanced research tile, which I can use to gain 3 research, which would be great. I've got to be able to move up in research, which means I need a way to get research immediately. 4 power would give me 2 research, which would be great. So let's go ahead and do some of that. I'll move. Is there anything I can use to charge power? Nope, not that I see. All right, so here we go. I'll move this over here to move 1. Move this over here to move 2. I'll spend these 4 to take this action to gain 2 power immediately. So now I am at the 4. Okay, your turn.
All right.
So what I'm trying to do right now, while he makes his decisions, I'm trying to get myself up in this research track as much as I can. The income doesn't really matter at this point for me, but it's more victory points for me the further I can move up this track. Also, getting access to this power would gain me an extra 3 research I could use this turn to possibly move up another track and maybe even get a few more victory points, potentially. So that's what I'm hoping for this round. We'll see how it ends up going.
All right, so I'm going to put this on the main, and I'm going to put us in the corner.
Okay.
So I'm going to create a federation right now.
All right, federation getting created.
So you have to have 7 power to do this. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to take 7 out. 1, 2, 1, 3. Sorry, not 7 power. Yeah, 7 power from your buildings.
Your buildings, I know it's weird that there's a power track and your buildings are worth power. Buildings have a power rating, okay? To form a federation, you have to have 7 power worth of buildings. This one, for instance, is worth 3. The big planetary institutes worth 3. These are worth 2 with the trading posts, and the research centers are worth 2, and the mines are worth 1.
So we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I need to build it the shortest route possible, which is right there.
Yep.
All right, so that's 3.
That's going to gain you.
Actually, yeah, that would be it.
Yep.
No, this would be it.
Oh, you're right, because, well, you're not technically there yet.
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's not.
So you want to take a turn to build a mine there?
Nope. I'm going to do it that way.
Okay, that way you can maximize on the number of satellites you put
That's
down.
right.
Okay,
so this
great.
will move me up 3.
Yep. He's now placed 3 satellites down. He's made a federation. Which federation token would you like?
I'm going to get the 7 and 6.
7 and 6. So 7, 2 points, and 6 money.
Right.
Great.
Just to show you, so that's it right there. And so I'll go up 7 points on the victory track.
Okay.
6 money.
And because he formed a federation this turn, it's been
5
additional 5 points. Because that's what's being incentivized this turn.
Right.
Okay, great. So that's cool. All right, so for me, I need to move up this victory point, move up this track. So I'm going to go ahead and let's do this. I'm going to actually turn one of my trading posts into one of my, what are those called? The research centers, right?
Right.
So that's going to cost me 3 or 1, 2, 3, and 5 coins to upgrade this. The reason I'm doing this is because now I can immediately gain one of these research tokens, and the one I'm going to take is going to be this one right here. 7 points is just too good. I'm taking 7 points.
And you can move up on any track.
So this one right here, if you can we see this one here?
Yeah, it's already.
This one right here says for every type of planet I've terraformed, which right now is 3 different types. The green doesn't count, actually the green does count, doesn't it? So the green counts as well. So it's 4 planets I've terraformed. I would gain a research for each. Well, that's an immediate jump up in research in something, right?
Right.
But the thing about it is, that's at most 4 points. I know this from playing the game. A 7-point tile is a 7-point tile. So I'm going to go ahead and take this for 7 points. Let me move myself up 7 points. So here I am here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it allows me to move up in any track. I'm going to move up in the economy track where I'm getting the most points right now. So, all done.
All right. So, I'm here and I have to make a decision real quick. And the decision, actually, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And we're going to pull up 2 things. First off, we're going to pull up the tech board and we're going to pull up us. And I'm going to spend 3 QIC before he can. And these 3 QIC are going to be used on the board.
This ability right here?
To rescore.
Oh boy.
The Federation I just got.
So these 3 QIC, it covers, again. He gets to score that again. So how much do you get?
7 points.
7 points.
And 6 more.
And then 6 more coins.
Yep.
Fantastic ability. Now I didn't have 3 QIC to spend. I'm only going to get probably 1 this round. But that was a great move on his part to be able to do that.
Right.
Okay, so now for me, I really want access to this advanced technology. I've been meaning to show you advanced techs all game. Now, advanced techs, you notice, are a little smaller than the other techs. The reason why is when you take one, it actually covers, let's say I had this tech right here, it actually covers its ability and now it becomes that ability, okay?
Right.
But here's a couple rules. 1, you have to be in either the 4th or 5th position of wherever the advanced tech is located, and you have to have a federation to flip over.
That's correct.
Okay, to be able to do it. So before I can take this, I need to build a federation, which is what I'm doing right now. So my easiest federation build, as far as power goes, I'm going to actually build my most expensive one, which is over here, 1, 2, 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7 power over there. I'll move up 3 on. I built 3 satellites. It'll cost me 3 power, so I'm going to lose these 3 from my board. And those are all gone. And now I get to take a federation token. The one I really need right now is the one that gives research. So I'm going to take this one that gives me 6 points and 2 research. So I'll take this. I'll gain 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, plus 5 more because this round they're incentivized. 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 more research. Actually, I spent 4. No, I didn't yet. So 2 more research. I'm at 6 now. Okay, great.
All right, so we're going to go back to the board. And at this point, I have a lot of money, and there's a reason for it, is I need to start finding out a way to get a second federation going. Because any of the planets I've already connected here, I can't connect them to a new federation. Mm-hmm. They're gone.
Yeah, once you stop a planet in the federation, you can't use them as second federation.
Right.
Yeah.
So I have to build this up to make 7 points. And it is possible. Let's see if I got enough money. All right. So it's going to cost me 6 first off. So we are going to go 1, 2 down. No, actually that was 3, 4, 5, 6, and 2. Bring this out here. All right. So that's my first action. Now back over to Bryn.
Okay. So I made a mistake earlier because in order to take this, I need to be able to trigger gaining one of these research. It's just like I took these. So what I should have done was use my research, instead of taking the 7, use the 4 research to move to this position, then built the, the Federation.
Right.
And then built the Research Institute, which would allow me to take this. But I did it in the wrong order, and that's part of this game.
Right.
So in order for me to get this, I need to build another Research Institute. So that's going to cost me 3 more power to do, so I'm going to spend 2, and then 3 money, so 1, 2, 3. That covers the ore need. I need 5 more coins, so I'm 13, I go down to 8, and that lets me take this one here and turn it into another research outpost, which lets me gain another one, which I'm going to go ahead and gain this cool one here, and I'm going to cover up the one that gives me, so what I had this here, if I can show this on my board.
Yep.
I had this already. I've already gotten the benefit of it. I'm going to cover it with this, which now lets me use this one time during the game to gain 3 research.
That's right.
Okay, great. And notice that when I take this, I don't move up, because these are advanced texts, I don't move up a step when I take it. But it does have an additional cost. I have to take my federation and flip it over. I now can no longer use that federation to move up the research tracks. And why is that important? Because in the research track, if we can show it one more time, to get to the 5th position, you actually have to flip over. You'll see it's a very tiny icon, but you have to flip over one of your federations in order to move up to the final position. So, okay, here we go.
All right, so here's an interesting thing, is I need to find out ways to not only move up the research track to maximize his own points, but I also need to get more research.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting. So what I'm going to do first is I am going to pull up the research track and show you. I'm going to spend 4
research, and which
to
one
go up the navigation charge.
So this one right here?
Yep.
So he's going to move up here. He gains a QIC.
Charge 3
and he
power.
gets to charge 3 power immediately, and that's going to be over 4 points for you.
Yep.
Okay, and that's your move?
That's my first action.
Okay, so I'm going to build another set of satellites. Do I want to build the satellites now? I'm trying to think of where I'll be going next. Okay, I'm actually going to go and spend 4 of my research. I'm going to actually, you know what? I'm going to take my new one-time ability and gain 3 more research. So 1, 2, 3. I'm at 9 research now.
All right, and real quick, we're going to let this go for this turn. But I do want to point something out.
Did I forgot to remove that?
No.
Okay, I did.
I do want to point this out. If you look onto the main board here, this should never have been unlocked.
You can go any direction you
Nope,
want.
it has to go from left to right.
See, I'll have to look that up because I was told by another person I played with this last time that you can do any one in any order.
Left to right.
Okay.
Just like over here, you go left to right. You continue going left to right.
We'll check on that for you.
That's in the rules.
You do your turn. I'm going to look at it.
That's why this is unlocked.
Go ahead, do your turn.
And you know what? He would have been getting more research.
It's true, I would have been getting more research, yeah.
Instead of QICs, which is actually a good benefit for him.
Yeah.
Alright, so now I'm going to go back onto here. And I need to upgrade.
Alright, poor Marco. Research lab upgrading to an academy. Upgrading a research lab to an academy costs 6 credits and 6 ore. We talked about this. As you upgrade, decide which of the academies in your faction board to upgrade to. One academy grants you income of 2 knowledge each round. The other academy gains you an action and gain exactly 1 QIC.
Oh, I stand corrected.
Yep. So you can choose either one you want to, which is great. Okay, cool.
I've been playing this wrong, Ben.
That's all right.
And
self-imposed restrictions, right?
You know what? That changes things.
That's what you're gonna do, right?
That actually changes things.
All right.
Now.
So you can see the game ramps up. Like this last turn is taking longer than the rest of them, but it really is the turn where we're trying to maximize on points. We have access to the most resources we had the whole game, and but the game really, though, I mean, this is exciting because we're really trying to like maximize on every last resource we have, knowing that this is our last time to score points.
3, 4, 5, 6. Upgraded that.
So I upgraded a mine to a trading post. I'm not anywhere near the range, so I can't charge power.
Right.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and spend 4 research to move up in the Gaia Project track, mostly because I need to add 3 more power, 1, 2, 3, to my overall power wheel.
Right.
So, great.
All right. And so now I'm going to do it again. 1, 2, 6. Let's put this on here.
Okay, what'd you do?
Upgraded another one.
Upgrade another mine to another trading post.
Yep.
Look at you tearing it up there. Okay. Great. So now it's my turn. All right. So I guess it's time to go ahead and build my my next upgrade. So I'm going to spend these 2. I'm spending 2 power, which are going away, to create 2 more satellites, which moves me up on the satellite track. That now connects that as another federation. I'm going to create a new federation. I'm going to create, let's see here, 7 points and 6 money is probably my best bet. So I'm going to go ahead and gain a federation, which scores me 7 points plus the 5, so 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Plus 6 coins, I'm at 8, so that'll put me to 14. And that gives me my next federation.
All right, and now here, I'm going to show it on the map and us, here's my big play.
Here it
I'm going to spend 2 from
2 power.
3 to gain 2 money.
Okay.
And I'm going to spend it all.
2 money, you spent 2 money and 2...
and 1.
You actually spent 2 mine, 2
Oh,
ore.
I should only
spend 1 ore and 2 money. Okay,
right.
put a mine.
Let's upgrade that. And guess what's over here? 7.
Oh, you got 7. So he's got it ready for another what's it called? Another federation. That's great. Well, I'm not going to be able to know the federation in this game. I built all the federations I can do. All I'm trying to do now is maximize all my points. So I'm going to spend 4 of my research. 1, 2, 3, 4 to move. Let's see here. This is worth 4 points. Gets me another Gaia former, which doesn't really matter, but lets me charge 3 power. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to charge 3 power, and that puts me up here with you for potentially for 4 points in the game. Go ahead, your turn.
All right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another federation. So I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, and here we go. I go 3 up on.
Yeah. He's not ahead of me on both tracks. Good job.
That's right. And I'm going to pick up the 8 points.
8 point and plus 2 power?
And
QIC. Got it. Okay, there you go.
So I go up 13 points.
13 points for blue. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And did you get your QIC?
Nope.
I'm going to take my action space that lets me take a QIC now that we're rounding out the game. Okay, back to you.
All right. And I really want to get another QIC. But is it possible? That's the big question here. Is it possible for me to get another QIC? Or is it better for me to use these QIC to get more ore and get money?
Decisions. I don't have a lot of options left.
I know. And this is again where the game bogs down.
I'm going to actually calculate my next turn because I think what I'm going to be doing is trying to build 1 more research institute, which would be pretty cool for me. So 1 more research institute is going to cost me 3 ore, which I have 0. So 3 ore is going to translate and set into 9 money plus 5 is 14. I'm exactly at 14. So I can build 1 more research institute, which is great. I'll move up research track 1 more time.
You know what? I don't think it is possible.
No?
No.
I weep inside for you.
No, you don't. But what I can do, again, this is all about maximizing on points, is spend 2 QICs to get 3 points.
Plus 1.
Plus 1 for every planet I'm on.
So yeah, he's using the other QIC action here on the board, which gives you 3 points immediately, plus 1 for every planet type he's on, of which he's on 3 planet types right now. So that's 6 points for you, right?
Yep.
So that's blue up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't think I'm catching you. You're gonna beat me this time. All right, let's see. Let's finish out the game. So I'm gonna go ahead and build. It's gonna cost all 14 of my coins. I'm gonna have to turn this last trading post into a research lab. Now that itself, you can gain 2 power.
It's not worth.
Point. Okay. All right, great. But that does let me take one of these tokens. I'm gonna take this one, which lets me go up which lets me gain research immediately for each different planet I'm on. I'm on 4 different planets. That's 4 research more. So I'll go research knowledge. So I'm up to 5 now, and that actually moves me up this track to the final slot. Now to move up, I have to flip over one of my federations, which I have 1 free to do. So that's been flipped. I now have this effect. All right, back to you.
All right.
Oh, and that used all of my money, all 14 money. I have no resources left, but 5 knowledge. So
yeah, but the knowledge is going to get you
another 4 points.
4 points.
Yeah. So we'll see.
So it will tie us on points there.
All right. Let's do it. Ooh.
I know. That's just it. I'm trying to milk as much as I can off the board to see if I can get any more points.
Yep.
This is where it leads into AP.
It can.
Really badly.
So the game, in my opinion, has less AP problems than what Terra Mystica had, where the board was static and there was more interaction, but it was also a lot more punishing because you could really block people out from being able to move around the board. With this game being as modular as it is, I could have started in a number of places, and you can always jump and skip past people using QICs to increase your range, or possibly increasing the navigation track, which lets you increase your range as well. So, decisions to make.
There's nothing else I can do. I'm going to have to pass.
Pass? Okay.
At this point, yeah, I pass.
Do you have any ending game effects on your passing?
I do not.
Okay, great. So it's just me taking turns now. Let me go ahead and spend 4 of my research to move up another research point track, which gets me here, which gets me another 4 points. It's just points at this point. Yes, it's easier for me to Gaia form, but I'm not Gaia forming. So I'm going to go ahead and also lose 3 power to gain 3 power. 3 power allows me to do a terraform, gain 2 more power, or I can just convert it to 3 money. Since 3 money is worth 1 victory point at the end of the game, I'm going to use these 3 to move my money up. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not to move my money up to the 3rd position, which is at least 1 more victory point. I have a QIC as well, which isn't worth victory points. It would be useful on a green planet, but boy, I am nowhere near a green planet, so I think it's going to be a useless resource for me.
Yep.
I think I'm also done, but at the end of my round, I score 1 victory point for every green planet that I'm on. So,
which is 2.
Hey, 2 more. So I'll score 2 more victory points. 1, 2.
All right, and that is game. So what we're going to do is we're going to change over
to the scoring track, yeah.
The scoring track. Here we go.
We flipped over the last tile here. Which was the one that was giving us points for federations. Let's go through them each one. So let's count our satellites. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on the 5th satellite. You've got 6. Who's ahead of me? As far as the buildings, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings. And you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did you not ever want to build that one? 9? Okay. 9 buildings. So he's actually here at the 9. So that's where we end up here. So let's go ahead and score for it. The person in the first position gains 18 points. Now, because we're playing 2 players, the yellow is a dummy player. So the yellow's actually got 8 satellites in the game, so they would score the 18 points. However, Marco's in second place with 12 points, and I'm in last with 6. So I'm going to move Marco up 12, so that's going to move you up here, and 2 more. I'll gain 6. Okay, 6. Now for this track, yellow actually has 11, again beating us. You'll gain 12, I'll gain 6. So we go 1, 2, plus 10, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Marco's at 103 right now, and I'm going to gain 6, so that's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that takes care of those in-game points. Now we gain points for research. Research, I'm up on the 5th spot on this track, so that's 12. The 2nd spot of this track, which is 8, so it's 5 times 4 is 20. So I'll gain 20 points from research. So I was at 82, that's going to put me at 102. Now he has 8 points in research, so that's going to move him up to 111. And now we score for our remaining resources. I have 3 money, which is worth 1 point. What have you got?
And nothing.
You have nothing. So,
but that's the end of scoring, and I am victorious again.
Yes, again, first time.
No, this is my game. This is my jam. That's what this is. I've only lost to Bryn once in this game.
That's right. So final score.
He was my first loss. Actually, my only loss.
103 to 111. Congratulations.
Yes, good game.
So this was I have to say, this was a challenge to shoot because there are so many things to look at.
There are.
But maybe we need a 5th camera, right?
That could work. But I mean, this game is so much fun.
Man, it's a blast. This is a really good one.
I mean, you can see it took us actually under 2 hours because we had the break time and
we
start
talk
time.
all the way through it, right?
Right. So 2 hours to play a 2-person game that is very in-depth.
Oh, man.
Major strategy all around.
And I have to tell you, the 2 of us, we've learned, because we're doing these live streams, is that we don't play nearly as efficiently when we're teaching the game.
That's true.
If we were going to be like, heads down play, you'd be bored to tears. You know what I mean? Because we wouldn't be talking to you or doing anything, actually, but playing, but trying to maximize our points. But this was still a blast. I just really enjoyed this game.
And it was a great game. And I love it. Thank you, Bryn, for teaching us how to do it.
Blast.
Next week.
Well, we don't know what we're doing next week.
Yeah, we don't know.
So if you guys want to pick out a game, and if we have it, we might do that one next week.
Yeah, so just feel free to give us a comment or message us on Facebook, and we'll be more than happy to plug the game.
Yeah.
Or if you have any questions for us to answer, we'll definitely answer those for you. Do pre-recorded little segments to add for our little breaks, and so you can stop listening to us.
Yeah.
Well, during the live stream, just kind of meandering and talking and blubbering around.
And I want to point out one more thing. I got the opportunity to play this has nothing to do with Gaia Project. In fact, I'm going to plug somebody's Kickstarter. So I got the opportunity to play Churrascaria. It's the game about eating. It's a game about eating meat at a Brazilian steakhouse. It's on Kickstarter right now. It's in the last 48 hours. They're just about to hit 10,000. They've already funded a while back. They're unlocking stretch goals. They've got a really cool pledge level now where you can get the game and 6 mats. It's a 6-player light take that card game that, frankly, I don't really like light games that much, but it was a lot of fun. It's fun to laugh at everybody. The game scales well with player count. A lot of take that games, the more players you get, the longer they go. This game has a great definitive timer on it that keeps the game moving fast and doesn't extend the game a long time for more players. So anyway, check it out. We'll put a link to it in the comments of our video,
right,
so you can go check it out yourselves. But I just thought I'd do that for the guys in
I would have to completely agree. I also got a chance to play it. I actually did a live stream with them on it. Yeah. And we'll link that as well to it in the comments. Yep. But it's such a fun game, and it's quick. You maybe 45 minutes with 3 players.
It's a blast, 30. And if we can get those guys down here again, we'll do it again. Okay.
And then another one I want to talk about, which also I think is ending soon, is Carly and Harvey.
Oh, Carly and Harley, that's right.
Are doing a
Dragon Phoenix Games.
Right, Dragon Phoenix Games are doing a Kickstarter right now for Friends and Lovers.
That's right. Friends and Lovers is their dig they've been doing for years now, where they take existing published games and they make cooperative and solo, mostly cooperative versions of the games. And these are top-notch. Harvey does the main designs on them, and Harvey is one heck of a designer, right? I've got to see this guy in action for years now, and he can take a game that isn't meant to be a cooperative game. He creates full rules for it using the existing components, and he makes a cooperative game so that he and his wife can play together. So their Kickstarter right now is called Friends and Lovers.
Right.
It's actually ending pretty soon. That's the thing's got like a week on it.
I think so, like 6 days close, or so.
We'll link that one for you as well. So if you're into cooperative games, or if you're into games and you want to play them cooperative, it really is a great opportunity to get access to some of their new stuff, and you get to kind of direct which games you're going to do next.
Right, and Sean, you're right. Churrascaria did just break 10,000.
Woo!
What is that, player mats now?
Player mats now,
That's right. You guys, we get player mats for all those who have backed it.
Actually, they just unlocked player mats earlier, but yeah, they now have the food cards are now chipboard tokens, which is nicer than just having the flipping card.
Right.
So,
well, thank you for joining us. It's your turn. We'll see you next week with I have no clue yet.
No idea, but we're gonna have a good time doing it either way.
All right, thank you so much.